What's up, boys? Today we're going to be checking out the Skull Horde demo. We control this little skull guy who will also shoot out little bullets at anything close to us. We start off with 3 different types of undead. We can send them into a frenzy with spacebar for some extra DPS. And we can eventually have up to 6 different types of undead following us. There's a lot more than that in the game, and you can upgrade the rarity in the shop once we find that at the end of each level. So that's the portal to the next level, but we're probably going to end up farming the rest of this place just so we get tons of currency to spend on new minions and items and all. However, the difficulty does go up over time, so we want to be quick about this. We got an item here, 3% ducats, that will help us buy more units throughout the run, so that's a decent start. You can also re-roll those to look for some other stuff. There's also a mini-map, so I could have seen that we didn't need to go back up here. If your minions get too far away, you can also hold down shift and they will come to you like that. So on to the next stage, we'll be able to buy some new minions in between each one. So you can upgrade the rarity with that. With only 52, we probably just want to focus on what we have now. So we've got archers. I think you can hold down Alt to see a bit more about them. So these guys are vanguard and ranged. If you get a bunch of high level units of those types, you can get some set bonuses for them. So you might want to try and match some of those. We actually have a bunch of vanguard, so that would be an easy combo to do. Let's see, if we get 3 of the same type, they upgrade to the next rarity. And if you get the 3rd rarity, that's what you need for the set bonuses. Carvers are a small and weak unit, only has 2 tiers. Churl, we already have some of those, so we can upgrade that to a veteran. So it's actually showing me the tutorial again. I guess you can see some of that. 3 units of the same type leads them to merge into a more powerful unit. Most unit types merge up into a 3rd tier. Then we can grab a 2nd pikeman. They're very useful because they have the rooted debuff, which will root enemies if they have any number of stacks, and they can keep stacking it up to make it last for a longer duration. And then we'll probably grab one of those, toss a single reroll, and grab a few more units. Archer brings those up to veteran as well, and another carver. So there's actually some cool synergies with the trash units, where when they die you can trigger some unique effects like dropping a grenade that burns enemies, or generating some resources for you. Let's toss a spacebar frenzy to get them some more DPS here. If enemies hit your skull, it actually transfers some of your damage to one of your nearby minions, and this is an item shop. We can check out luck. Ooh, that's actually pretty cool to get early on. Increases item drop rate and rarity of items and units. Let's see, mutated growth gives health, but makes them take longer to respawn. Ooh, 3 luck, that's a good early start. Okay, let's try that out. We'll do a super lucky build then, try and get lots of item drops off of that. So yeah, your units can die. If you take too much damage on your skull itself, you'll end up not having enough DPS to kill anything. Recruit 3 units for free. Sounds good. Yeah, I guess we'll just take all of those. We could also re-roll and look for some more expensive units, since I think those were 5 each. Honestly, we might just do that. So Archer is good. We can grab one of those, and I think that's fine. What is that? Oh, we have another recruiting thing here, but we don't really have any money, so oh well. Pull a bunch of stuff and then we'll toss a frenzy onto them. Yeah, if you take too much damage on the skull, you'll end up not having too much DPS available, and then your efficiency will sharply drop off. You can respawn the units, but I believe it's 1 at a time, so you can see right there, we're focusing on him right now. And one thing I think that would be a pretty nice quality of life change is if you could change the priority for reviving stuff. So you could have like super important units revive first, and then the trash units be like one of the lowest priority. Or luck, I guess we'll try it. This might be too greedy, but it sounds kind of funny. I haven't tried something like this yet. You have 3 total lives. If all of your units die, you'll spend a life to instantly revive all of them, and that can actually have some interesting gameplay. When I fought the final boss the first time, he actually killed most of my army, and I was going to run out of time. Let's finish this off first. We can take each of those. We got a veteran for that guy. Churl upgrades. So we're getting kind of close to the final tier on some of those guys. And then I guess we'll toss an upgrade here that will increase the chance of finding professional units. That'll help out in the long term, although it doesn't really do anything for us now. So yeah, it's very close to running out of time on the final boss. Let's toss out another frenzy there. So what I did is I ran into his units and took a bunch of damage to basically spend one of my lives to get all of my units back up. So that adds some pretty interesting choices you have to make if your units are dying too quickly and you need a lot of extra DPS. So we don't want to pull too much. We don't really have many AoE damage units currently. I don't think any of the little decoration things really do anything, like, though you can run over them to destroy them. Let's dodge that. Later into the game, you'll start running into some enemies with AoE damage, so you might want to try and micro your units out of them by holding down shift to call them to you. I think we'll just explore all of the levels and see what happens. We do have a lot of luck, so we should find a decent number of items and more coin chance. Whenever these have multipliers, they actually become better for each one since they multiply each one. Let's call those guys over to me. They're kind of running off and doing their own thing. Ooh, we got an item off of luck. Even more coins. Not bad. So we actually will be a little bit weak on this level since I spent a bit on that higher tier upgrade. So we don't want to get too greedy here. See, I think that's most of the stuff over here. Ooh, a shot. Wonder if luck works on this. When a unit dodges an attack, we don't really have any dodge multiplier, although it sounds interesting. We don't really have a lot to support that currently. This will give rooted and disarmed on crit. That sounds very useful. Corpuscle, so those are the item things. I think we'll definitely take that for some useful utility. And then, since we are pretty early on, I think we'll grab that as well so we can do more with items throughout the run. Just try and finish off a few of these guys with the cooldown. And then that guy seems pretty tanky. I think we'll head over to the portal now and go cash in our units with the increased rarity now. So we have some of those. This is a new professional unit, a single melee area of effect attack. I haven't really tried these guys too much, but it does give us some early AoE, so could mess around with them a little bit. We have some carvers, upgrade those to veteran. Then toss a reroll, more carvers, churls, pikemen. We have all of these, so that's fine. Toss another reroll. So that will actually give us the final tier for those. Definitely take one of those. So champion is what you need to get the set bonuses for them. Second veteran pikeman and a second regular drummer. Toss another frenzy. It's a shoes dodge multiplier. If we get a few of these, we actually could look for one of those dodge reflect things later on now, and that would be pretty interesting. Crit chance, not bad. Let's wait for our minions to finish with those guys before we pull a bunch more. Very important not to overpull and start losing all your DPS in this game. Let's see what this doodad is. So we sacrifice a bunch of HP on our units, but we can recruit 3 for free. That's pretty good this early on, I think. And we don't have too many dead right now, so it shouldn't be too much of a downside, I hope. So we found clerics, which heal the nearest wounded unit based on their damage. What are they? Magic, Arcane, and Warden. I haven't actually seen a ton of units that match that, so it might be kind of hard to get set bonuses with that. We'll definitely take the pikemen and the churl. I think we're probably going to pass on those and just try and synergize with the other stuff we have here. Grab a drummer and upgrade those to veteran. Upgrade those to a second veteran, sure. Carver, pikeman, archer, I'm fine with all of those. Ooh, item up there, don't want to miss that. Crit chance, yep. That will trigger our disarm and rooting more often. Oops, that's a dead ends. We're pulling a lot here, and our units are already kind of low, so we might actually need to make a break for the portal at some points here. We get into a lot of trouble. Another item off luck, even more crit chance. I think we'll probably finish off these guys and then just take the portal. We'll have to use a lot of time backtracking to explore any more on this map. Ballista is a new ranged unit, so that's ranged and siege. That doesn't match a ton here, really just the one range thing there. Oh, I guess it does match the siege. We would still need another one for that. I'm not sure if we can really do that. I think we'll probably look for something else. Another war drummer, archer, into a champion. And then another war drummer. High health and damage, very slow attack rate. Melee, siege, and behemoth. We have enough melee, so I don't think we really gain much from that either. We'll probably wait again on the final slot, see what else we can find. Another attack rate multiplier, not bad. Respawn rates, I guess we will probably need to respawn a lot of units during the final boss fight. It is a very long fight, and he also spawns a lot of stuff. Even more luck. Sounds cool. Can we see exactly what that translates into? No. I think we've gotten like 2 or 3 extra items off of it so far. So not the greatest yet, but we still have a ways to go. So these are the little AoE mortar guys. You have to be a bit careful about their attacks all over the place. We got a blue item from luck there. What is threat rate? I haven't seen that before. Rate which dungeon threat increases. Oh, that's actually quite good to get fairly early on, then actually enemies will ramp up a lot less. We do lose some of those, but I'm down to try some of that. Start of the previous floor, accumulated dungeon threat will remain. So we'll have extra like stuff to grind and build up our army, but enemies will ramp up more. That sounds like an interesting choice to try since we just got an item that actually lowers the dungeon threat we gain. So I think we can come back to this and then try that out later on. So we have health on dodge, max health, but we lose respawn time. Friendly units gain Thorns. Return 10% of damage to the attacker. Oh, that sounds interesting. Let me get some of that. And then health on dodge. That will help keep them alive so they can cause Thorns damage longer. We do have a little bit, although I can't quite afford that. I think I do want to try that though. Let's see, we got one off of him, so we can grab that now. We did get the units that is like a Horde unit, right? I think so. So those should actually be pretty interesting with the Thorns effects. I've actually never seen that item before. So our units take damage, but we gain 50%. So nothing there, a decent amount there. I think we'll clear out the rest of the level, come back for this, and then the reset thing, I think. Health on dodge, sure. Max health, but they respawn slower. So the dodge thing is a percentage heal, right? So I think this actually does make sense with how we're building this run. Although normally lowering your respawn time actually can be kind of bad. But it will improve our healing and give them more chances to apply the Thorns. So we'll have to take this multiplier now. This won't really matter since we're going to go take the reset thing anyways. And then this is going to end up being a pretty greedy run, but it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Do we get a free unit shop here? Okay, nice. So we'll get the drummer, carver. These will be pretty cool with the Thorns, I think, having a ton of them. Pikemen. So those are up to champion. I don't think we have any of these set bonuses yet. So I was going to pass on the clerics, but I think their healing effect will actually be pretty interesting for the Thorns build now. So we will actually go for them after all. Cleric, churl, carver. Champion war drummer. We must be getting close to a combo for something now. Yeah, we should have Vanguard, right? Oh yeah. Wait, no. I guess we don't? No, I think we do have it. I don't know what the set bonus is for them though. Oh well. Cleric. Get a veteran there. High health and damage. That might actually make sense. I wouldn't mind trying out the behemoth multiplier. So I think we'll upgrade this, and then I think we'll get rid of the archers. Yeah, it's kind of painful, but I really want to see what behemoths can do for the Thorns build. So we can sell those for 96. Okay, that's not too bad actually. Grab a Dreadmaul, and then we can actually do a couple more refreshes off of that. Dreadmaul Herald inspires one unit, increasing its damage. So that's Warden and Vanguards. We have one Warden and the Cleric, so I don't think we can really do that. I don't think those guys really fit the build. Then we want to get one more of the Behemoth, right? No, we'll need two more. Okay, that might be kind of hard to do. but I might still go for it if I see the opportunity. Good chance, sure. Luck item or crit chance. Your skull can also proc your on-hit effects as well, like the disarm and rooting that we have, I think. Armor... it doesn't really fit the Thorns builds. I don't mind having a little bit just so our cleric can keep our units alive a bit better though. Just get more value out of actually hitting people in the face. Is that something? No. Oh, that actually did drop some money though. I think we're gonna have to backtrack too far to really explore the rest of this level. I think we're just going to move on since the portal's right here. So Carver. I think we'll toss another of these, and then that's actually the final upgrade for now. That's explodes when near an enemy, dealing area of effect damage. That definitely doesn't fit the Thorns build. Carver up to veteran. Churl up to veteran. We could maybe buy one more. I don't think we're gonna reroll there. Respawn rate, that's fine. Not the greatest, but whatever. So we probably still will end up ramping up the enemies a ton on this run. I guess we'll see how that actually ends up playing out. Units suffer damage, but you reduce dungeon threat 3 steps. Okay. That sounds like a pretty good trade-off. Hopefully our cleric will heal these guys up a bit. What is that one? So dungeon threat will go up faster, but we gain 50%. Okay, and it's right next to a shop. So what we're going to do is clear out a little bit more and then swing back to that just for the greeds. And there's an item shop right there to go with it. Alright, let's go ahead and do that since we're gonna have to leave this place anyways. 50% on that, not bad. So we gain a lot of armor but lose health. I think that doesn't really fit the build we're going for here with the Thorns. Grenade is spawned when a friendly unit dies. Maybe... Ooh, Thorned armor, what is that? Percent of unit's armor values added to Thorns damage. Okay. So we actually could combine that with that then. You can't see any stats for like the specific units, can you? I don't think so. And then we're trying not to actually sacrifice them that much. We have the dodge healing and the cleric's healing, so I don't think on death effects will trigger that much, although we do want them to be taking a lot of damage for the Thorns. I think it's kind of late for that now. Unit damage increases with missing health. That's kind of interesting though. On death, nearest friendly unit gains 20% of max health. Oh, that's actually really cool. I think even though it won't trigger that often, it should be a pretty good survivability boost for the other ones. Then we probably won't be able to buy anything else after that. Okay, it looks like we need to go up here. Other armor, that's actually pretty good now that we have the thorned armor thing. I feel like there should be a way to see what set bonuses you have, but I don't know how. You can see the number of units you have for that tag, but if you sell a unit for a set bonus that you had, you actually keep the set bonus. But I think there's something that I'm missing. Cleric. Those are Vanguard Siege area. So Bone Golem would actually be pretty interesting. It doesn't attack, but it has high armor, which goes into the Thorned Armor thing. These are melee and hordes, and I think they are cool, but they don't really fit any of the other tags we have, and I'd like to fit the Bone Golem in, and I kind of like everything else we have, I think. So I think we will have to sell those. Wait, do we get money for that one? Okay, we get 72. Grab our Bone Golems. I guess the nice thing about those is that they should basically never die, so we won't ever really accidentally lose lives for them. Bulwark, heavily armored melee units. Oh, that would be cool as well. I forgot about those. What could we get rid of to fit those in? I guess it would be churls or drummers. We might want those for the AoE. Yeah, I think it would have to be the churls. Those guys have super useful debuffs and they're long range as well. Oh, you can actually see their armor as well. 40 there, 30 is fine. Yeah, I think it'll be the churls here. I just really want the super high armor guys and the behemoth tag for the Thorns build. Crits grant 1 stack of invulnerability to target unit. Interesting. So they can also gain unique effects at the max tier as well. Alright, that was a lot of units, so have a lot of targets for them to cause Thorns damage to themselves now. And I guess we don't have to worry about microing out of the damage areas either, since that'll be more damage returned to them. Ooh, an epic item. Stack on Kill Frenzy. Attack and movement speeds. That doesn't really fit the build too much. I think we'll toss some rerolls for an epic. 50% more armor if your entire squad is alive. Oh, that's actually really cool here. Our units are all pretty tanky now, and we have some healers as well. And then that will give us more Thorns damage with the Thorn armor thing. Oops, walked into that with the skull. When you transfer damage from your skull into the minions, it's actually true damage ignoring their resistances. So that's actually a lot of damage with how much armor we have, since they won't mitigate it at all. Crit chance, I think that's fine. The thing that gives us, I think I will reroll those a few times. Probably kind of late for that armor. Ooh, that's great. The root and disarm thing is reliant on our crits, so I think having a few copies of that is fine. Thorns damage results in a crit. The attacker gains a stack of brittle. So enemies can lose armor based on that. Well, it fits the build. Sounds pretty cool. So actually crit is really good then, since Thorns can also crits. Did not know that. Free item off the luck, extra health. Yeah, it's fine for the tanky Thorns build. Getting pretty strong, so we probably don't want to hang around too long. Go for some efficient AoE damage here, and then we'll jump in. I think we'll skip the pikemen for now, and we'll try to get the high tiers on these units so we can try to get a few of the set bonuses finished off. We already have 2 veterans, or champions over there, I mean. So there's our champion golem. Ooh, on death releases the Bone Nova. Well, that's never really going to happen, actually. He's super tanky. Bulwark. Cleric is champion, but the healing is nice. Drummer, I think we'll pass since we have 2 champions there. Those guys are not quite a champion. Attack steal area of effects. Drummer, we're passing on those. Alright, so this looks like the boss stage now. This guy summons a ton of stuff all throughout the arena. And in my first time against him, I actually had to back off and give my unit some time to respawn a lot, and then I almost ran out of time towards the end. It'll be interesting to see how the Thorns tank build plays out against them. So I think we do need to focus these things down around the outside, since they have tons of AoE damage and they spawn stuff as well. So we'll need to sort of clear out the area before we go in to engage the boss, I think. And I think there's actually an item shop that spawns in this level as well. If we can find that, we can actually spend all of that for a bit of a boost here. Chance, that's pretty good with the blue item we got recently. Yeah, here's the item shop. Let's go ahead and check what we've got here. Respawn rates, nah. Unit would be killed by an attack. It is instead dodge. Unit heals for 5%, gains 1 stack of invulnerability. Only once per life though. I feel like with the limit of 1, that's kind of niche for 148. That is very expensive. Thorned armor, that's very good though. And they'll toss a reroll. Respawn time, but rate multiplier. Ooh, armor. So that should massively boost our Thorns damage and give us a little bit of survivability on top of that. We might actually be able to just clear out like one side and then start fighting him. Epic. Stack on kill, 10% dodge. That's not bad, but I feel like we're going to have difficulty stacking that up. We're kind of just on the boss now. I think we can do better for an epic item. Unit dodges, attack is reflected back at the attacker. We don't have that much dodge. 3%. Yeah, probably can do better still. 25% double Thorns. I'm not sure how much that will be active, but it fits the build, so we're doing it. Oh, there's an item up here, but we can sneak by and grab that as well. That definitely doesn't do anything now. Damage. It's fine. We could probably find an armor or something. There we go. Alright, let's try and make sure we don't take any damage on the skull here. Yeah, we're not even losing any units yet. That's crazy. On my first fight, I was losing them so fast. But the huge armor here is doing work with the clerics. Chance, that's fine. Is he dead or did he teleport somewhere? Oh yeah, I guess he teleports. I never saw that before. Bait me into that item and the damage. Stack on crits. So that can keep stacking up, and we have decent crits, so I think that's fine actually. And since Thorns can crit as well, we can actually do Burning Thorns as well. Armor, but lose dodge. I'm not really sure I want to lose the dodge because we have the percentage healing on it. So we kind of want both of those stats. I think we'll toss a few rerolls there with all that money. Again, we definitely don't want to lose armor, and that's not really a net positive for me. I don't think so. Tick speed, but lose duration. It's not the greatest. Attack rate, but lose damage. Man, it's kind of hard to find something really good here. Lose health when more than 10% remains. That's not great. Ooh, Thorns multiplier. Okay, there we go. If he teleports again, we should actually swing by the shop and check that out again. Crit chance, that's pretty solid. But otherwise, I think it'll probably be faster to just stay on top of him and get lots of Thorns damage here. There's actually some luck drops here. Armor, very nice. Armor, very nice. Armor, very nice. Attack rate, that's fine. Alright, so he teleported somewhere. We'll go swing by the shop with all of those resources. It's too bad I can't buy any units here, I think. Oops, almost ran into that guy. So I think we'll reroll here. Vulnerability multiplier, it's okay, not great, I think. Ooh, Thorns, yep. I'm not sure we can do a whole lot else with that. Armor's fine. We can do either of those. That has a few other things that work on it as well, and it also works on Thorns, so I think we'll go there. Then if we get 71, we can do that one also. Alright, we need to actually find where the boss is and get all of our thorny boys on top of them. And I guess we should probably kill all of these on the way up there so they aren't spawning stuff on me. Let's go ahead and pull our units up here. Armor, not bad. Oh, what I should do is actually pull them up closer to the boss, so we're getting a lot more thorns up there. As long as I can do it safely. No. Crit chance is good. My damage is pretty low, I will say, but we seem to be fairly safe. I guess it's fine. More armor and thorns, although they probably won't get huge value out of that. We'll keep our clerics alive a bit better at least, since they are often taking some hits and being pretty low. So we are losing a decent amount of units. I think we will pull back for a bit and revive them. I definitely don't think I can take a bunch of damage and spend a life to summon them all, because the bone golems especially will be extremely hard to kill off. Threats, but ducats, we are kind of past the use for that. Burn stack on crits, I think that's fine. Should be some decent single target damage, I think that's fine. Armor is great. ability, we can do better than that. Crit chance, I think that's fine at the cost of a bit of damage. That's a lot of crit multiplier now. Respawn, dodge I think is fine for the healing. I guess we'll clear out the middle and then go for one more shop. We could probably afford 2 items off of that. And then we also occasionally get them as drops as well. 71%, getting pretty good. Oh, I guess he's next to the shop anyways, it looks like. Well, we better clear out all of this junk on the way then. We don't really want to get flanked by a ton of ads during the fight if I can help it. Like, that is a lot of stuff. Wow. Let's see if we can sneak past and buy some stuff to help out a bit. Grab the armor, toss a reroll. Stack on dodge. We already have a source of that. Attack rates. I think we'll fish again. Dodge, crit chance, attack rates. Crit's pretty good. We have that ramped up pretty hard, and several things that scale off of it. Ooh, an epic. Stack on dodge, frenzy. It's okay. There's some big armor things here, so I think we'll just fish for something decent. Generate health when less than 10%. Kind of hard to use. How much dodge are we at now? 6%. I don't think that's that great. Critical spawn a fire tornado. Nearby enemies with burn. That sounds kind of interesting, and we do have a lot of crits. I'm down to try that. We have a lot of units dead, so I think we might actually want to regroup and respawn some. And hopefully have the fire tornadoes take out some of that. That is an insane number of enemies, my god. We might actually end up at a point where, yeah, we actually just lost a life. That'll get my units back. I'm not sure if we can actually kill all of this junk though, Jesus. Thorns, yep. Armor, yep. Grab some items and then we need to head back to the boss. I don't think that's going to do a lot at this point. Dodge. I guess it's fine. Dodge. Alright, we need to start getting some more damage on the boss. You do have a limited time to fight him, I think. So we need to clear out all of this stuff as well before we can get on him. We might actually want to try and focus him down at this point. What is this? The heck? No, it bugged out. I can't do anything. The heck? Drop Ducat on Friendly Death. I don't think we can even spend those now, although that would have been cool to get early on. Dodges, reflected back. We actually do have a bit of dodge now, so I probably could have taken that. Unit would be killed once per life. Kind of hard to really get a lot of value out of that. Stack on kill, rampage. 5% damage but loses armor. Okay, that would be bad for me. Cloaked, dodge, crit damage? Yeah, we do have a lot of that. May as well. Grenade when the unit dies. Crit damage, okay. Oh my god, that is a lot of enemies. Okay, another life gone. I just can't see what items do now. So I think we got the big guy. We have limited time to finish off this area. Man, I wish I could see what items do. I like can't even... No, I can't do anything now. We're actually... Like earlier I could click where the item stuff was. And it would at least close this, but I can't get out of this now. We did kill the boss at least, so you can see how that fight goes, but I can't... Like, nothing on the keyboard is interacting with the screen. I can't close it. Well, that's Skull Horde, I guess. We did kill the boss, but you have to actually fully clear this level to win the rounds. And we might have actually gotten swarmed by the insane number of enemies there, but I can't close the item screen anymore. So, yeah, a couple bugs they need to fix. It's just a demo, so not really surprising. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.